Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to our monthly chat series, What's All the ERP Buzz? I'm excited for you all to be here. My name is Aimee Keenan. I'm the founder of the ISV Society, and I invited Darcy today, and we'll do a little bit of an intros, but we're talking about acu-connect, which is our annual virtual conference, hoping to answer your questions, provide insights and guidance, and of course, talk a little bit about acu-connect. And if you're not a member yet, you should sign up. But I am on the events and webinar committee for acu-connect. So this is near and dear to my heart in providing educational content to the Acumatica community. I'm also on the board, and then I'll let Darcy chat a little too, introduce herself.
I'm Darcy Boerio, and I'm with DAB Partners. I help a lot of the ERP ISVs for their partner channels is my primary business that I do, but I'm also on the board of directors for acu-connect, and I'm also a bit of a doer with it when it comes to the group. And so I help out with the sponsorship sales and the scheduling and the planning and all of those things for acu-connect. And so I know recognize a lot of y'all's names on here as sponsors, and some past attendees on here, and some hopefully future attendees on here. So
yes. So excited. Thank you, Darcy, for joining me this week. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, so I'm just going to put in the chat acu-connect's website. So if you're not a member yet, feel free to sign up. It is free. We're always providing educational, informational content for you all. So it's just makes it very good to join us. So I'll put that in the chat, as well as more information to come as we talk about it. But a little bit about acu-connect, Darcy, if you want to share with the group in case they haven't joined yet or need just an update on what we do.
Sure. So acu-connect, we've been around since like around 2019. I think we made our debut at Acumatica Summit that year. Mm-hmm. And we have grown substantially since then. It's been very exciting. We started out as a group of ISVs who got together and basically just said, hey, how do we just connect with the partners and the users? Because there's not, Acumatica not having been around as long, there's not a lot of as much information, or there has grown to be, but there wasn't a lot out there where you could just Google a question. What do I do? How do I do this in Acumatica? And so a lot of the ISVs found that partners were coming to them asking for technical advice and things of that nature. And so that was sort of the spirit of it initially. It's evolved since then into more of a community for networking and making connections and education. We host regular webinars. And of course, in 2020, we had our first virtual conference, acu-connect 2020. We were not intending to be a conference organization when we started, but we've just sort of rolled with the punches and tried to figure out where we fit in best, because there's other user groups out there and things of that nature, and forums and whatnot. But with COVID, we decided, hey, let's do this virtual conference. So we gave it a shot, and it was really successful. So we're back again now for our third year. We tried to space it in between Acumatica Summit, which has been a little tough lately when there were two Acumatica Summits right in a row. So we're still working on our timing here. So hopefully we'll get back into a flow where we do it basically 6 months out from Acumatica Summit, so that we can have sort of a touch point midterm from Acumatica Summit. We've had John Roskell do keynotes at our past 2 events, and we are working very hard to have John, the new CEO, join us for this one. But if not, we'll have some type of high level. We've always had some type of high level Acumatica people. We had Doug Johnson on our last one talking about the new releases. So we always get a lot of support and speakers from Acumatica on, and a lot of educational content from partners and users. And of course, our ISV sponsor content as well, which is incredibly educational for the users out there. And one of the things that sort of differentiates acu-connect from some of the other groups is that we do let the producers of the add-on solutions have a voice and talk about their products, because they're helping the users as well, and the partners.
Exactly. Yes. So yeah, think about it as a community just for anything Acumatica. And we do, as I mentioned, on the webinar event committee, and we have webinars each month, and we try to, of course, make them educational, informational. We've been having a lot of Acumatica employees on doing some of their trainings and sharing their knowledge around certain industries. And of course, they'll play a role. Acumatica has been so supportive of us And they always help us promote our events and webinars, and of course also present as well. So we've been very grateful and honored to have them be a huge part of this growing of this community. So let's talk a little bit about acu-connect and the virtual event, and how you guys, ISVs, partners, NUs, whoever is on, hopefully all of you are on here, how you guys can help basically make it successful. And there's a few ways, right, Darcy?
Yeah, definitely. So, well, let's start with the ISVs first. So we have sponsorships, of course. This organization is a nonprofit organization. We're a 501(c), I think is what it is. But we are entirely funded by sponsors. If you go to our homepage, we have community sponsors. So if you're on our homepage and you go to About and the community sponsors, you'll see all of the great ISV solutions that are sponsoring and supporting this organization. They do need to be on the Acumatica marketplace in order to be able to be a sponsor of the community. And in order to sponsor the conference, you need to be a community sponsor. So that's how that kind of all flows together. So I would definitely encourage you, if you're not familiar with the website, to take a look around, look at our events calendar, our blogs, etc. But this sponsors, we have 3 different sponsorship packages, and they all are pretty full-featured packages with a lot of opportunities for branding. Some have sessions, dedicated sessions, some have concurrent sessions, and others have what we call sponsored sessions, where we'll try and match you up with a session, an educational session that's sort of in line with what your product does, right? So if you have reporting tools and someone's doing a partner or someone is doing a session on reporting, we might have you sponsor that one. And the presenter at the beginning of the session will say, this session sponsored by this awesome Acumatica reporting tool, learn more here and how they can help you get better insights, that kind of thing. So that's another option as well. So there's different levels for every budget of sponsorship. So that's for the ISVs. And we don't have partners sponsoring. It's just because unless you're sponsoring on behalf of an ISV solution that you have available in the marketplace. But for partners and end users, we'd love for you to get involved with a session. We're accepting session submissions through the end of the month, and then we're going to try and sort through them all and pick which ones make the cut. And those could be anything from, maybe if you've done something really cool and unique with Acumatica that you want to share with the world, or if you excuse me, if you have maybe an ISV solution that you work really well with and you want to tell the story about them, or just tell the story how you're using Acumatica. For partners, of course, same thing. Anything that you've done that's cool for customers, or really like tips and tricks are really big ones. It probably shouldn't be just general Acumatica tips and tricks, but a lot of people will do like reporting tips and tricks, or inventory tips and tricks. Also, verticals are great too. So if you have a lot of experience in a specific vertical, commerce, manufacturing, etc., construction, we love those as well. Those are popular. What other types, Aim? Can you think of any other?
Retail, did you say retail, e-commerce?
Retail, yeah.
Distribution, obviously manufacturing, reporting, analytics, business intelligence.
And panels are okay too. So, if you've got a topic that you want to work with someone else on, maybe you don't want to do your own all by yourself, you want to do a panel with someone, or you can even reach out to us and say, hey, I want to do a panel. Can you find someone to do it with me? Here's my idea of what we would do. So we could do that as well.
Yes.
So there's lots of ways to get involved. And for some of the partners out there in particular, if you've been doing webinars for your customers or lunch and learns, a lot of the partners have been doing these lunch and learns for their customers lately, and you've had some topics that you've done on there, that's okay. We can, bring them here, and you don't have to necessarily create something from scratch just for acu-connect. If you have something you've already put together, shoot it off to us and we'll get it in front of everyone if it makes sense to do so.
And I did put the link in the chat to be able to submit your sessions. So feel free to check it out there. And Darcy, the sessions are 30 minutes or less. Is that what we're
some are 20 and some are 30.
Okay.
So not long. It's not going to be, we're not going to put you on the spot for too long there, but it's a good way to get your company name out there, for your
Show you're an
personal brand.
acumatica expert, and people,
Yeah.
leverage your expertise. Would reach out to you. So it's really great for networking and for sharing what you know and your knowledge and building that network and reaching out to others and working with others as well.
Yeah. And for your personal brand. So,
Mhm.
and then beyond that, another way to get involved is just to show up. Right.
Yes.
So,
And it's free.
for those of you that have been in the past, yes, it's free. It's free for everyone to attend. Bring your whole company, everybody. And, we've had in the past a lot of interaction in the chat. We definitely do a lot of questions and polls and things of that nature. We do tend to come on like in the breaks. We'll have a group of maybe board members or acu-connect committee members come on the stage, we call it, and kind of chat with the audience and try to get people talking. We have something really cool. We call it like speed networking, where you basically go in and you say, okay, match me up with someone, and it'll just randomly match you with somebody else and put you on video with them for 3 minutes, I think it is. And so that's always really fun. It's really fun because sometimes you get someone and other times you get someone you don't, and it's great either way. So that's one of my favorite parts. I'm going to try to really get people to do more of that this year. So we really try to make it different than just sitting at your desk watching a bunch of webinars.
And it's 2 days, 2 half days, right? 11 to 4.
11 to 5 Eastern, and then
11
both days we typically have happy hours both days at the end to just kind of come on and recap. We give away lots of prizes during those, so sometimes we play those Kahoot like trivia games and stuff, so that's always kind of a fun way to end the day. I always really enjoy those. We always laugh a lot during those.
Yes, mayors have good attendance at them too.
Yeah. So I know some of you guys on this call
what was the average attendance like? I know you've only had a few years, but is it 100 people? Is it 500 people? 1,000?
No, it was 500. It's just under 600 the first year. And then I think we went down a little bit the second year, maybe closer to 500. So pretty good attendance, I'd say, and it's nice. I think people are going back to conferences, so the balance is shifting a little. So we'll see how it goes. This year might be a little different because people are a lot more out there and going to conferences, but I still think there's quite a great contingency of people who still have appreciated the virtual aspect of it and not having to get up and get dressed and go travel. So, I still think there's going to be quite a few people who still enjoy this, and it's not as big a time commitment obviously as going to an in-person conference. People pop in and out. I mean, we wish they'd stay and hold on to every single second, but we put the recordings online and on YouTube available to anyone after the conference. So if people have to miss a few sessions, they can catch up later.
Yep. So as long as you register, you'll get those recordings, which is all we ask you to do. And then obviously there's not a lot of Acumatica events, right, throughout the year. So I think, we have Acumatica Summit, but they haven't done the road shows. They do have their R2 launch and other launches, whatever, they have new releases, but we'll be filling everybody in on that too at the event in case you do miss any of those types of webinars or things that Acumatica are doing. They're happy to help us educate you guys on at the event too. So it's nice. Yeah.
Who has questions? Anyone?
I know. Ask questions. That's why we're here. Enough chatting.
Anyone who's been in the past wants to chime in on their experience or, what you loved and maybe what you didn't like and what we could do better. We'd love to hear from you either, on this call, or if it's bad, maybe just email us. But
hopefully it's not
bad. Gary Feldman, are you coming?
I can unmute. I can always talk. It's good to see you. I was just kind of checking this out because I've been following you from afar, and I saw Aimee's post, and I thought I would check out what this thing is. But been following Acumatica since it was a buggy little program.
Well, it's to see
It's
you
grown
out
up.
here. You should check out the conference and come see what's new. I mean, so Gary's an ISV solution as well that could potentially be an Acumatica partner. So you're definitely welcome to come and see what the space is all about.
No questions, huh? You guys are quiet. Who is an acu-connect member already? Is everybody on here already a member?
PJs, eBiz charges.
Yeah, I would encourage you guys to create your account, subscribe on the homepage. I noticed it was acting a little weird today because we put a pop-up on there to register for the conference. But if you go up to the top and go to log in and then do create account, I think it is, that will give you access to some of the areas on the site that you don't have access to if you're not logged in. And so I'd encourage you to do that. And what that will also do will be to get you into our email marketing, which we're not crazy with it, but we send probably 3 emails a month at the very most. And they're usually, we do 1 newsletter every month to try to compile everything into one, so we're not spamming you too much. And then we do the 1 webinar a month. We'll send out 1 or 2 emails announcing that. As the conference approaches, we'll be sending out emails notifying people of developments in the conference as well. So, when we get some highlighted speakers or things like that, or sponsors or whatnot, we'll be sending out notices about that. But I would also encourage you to maybe follow us on Twitter and LinkedIn, because that's another way to keep abreast of what we're doing with the conference.
And usually we have it in November, but we switched it to September this year just because of Acumatica Summit being in January. And last year it was in July. So we're trying to just switch things up.
Yeah, so maybe 2023 will be in June or July. Oh boy, let's start getting ready for that one now, I guess.
I know, it's kind of scary.
But yeah, so we're really looking for good educational content. So we'd love anyone on here who has something. No product pitches for these, though, of course. We really just want them to be very educational for these, but it's good branding. It's a good opportunity to share with the community, and
it can't be successful without everybody's help, right? So there's no questions, I guess. You guys are all very quiet. This is your chance to ask us.
Or tell us suggestions.
Exactly.
Everybody come in.
Make sure you register.
All right, everybody put in the chat whether or not you're registered.
I mean, we just launched registration, so we'll give people the benefit of the doubt. But you can register now. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, you can do that on the acu-connect website as well. So you can submit a session, you can sign up as a member, you can register for the event, do all of that stuff right out there.
Yeah, and Gary made a good comment to me in a direct message saying that, talking about building a community, that's what we're trying to do here. You look around at some of the other product lines, you look at, for example, Microsoft Dynamics, and they've got these great user communities, independent communities, and we are completely independent of Acumatica. We're supported by Acumatica, but we're very independent. We decide, what content we want. So, this is not, sometimes the publisher shows are a little bit more self-serving and a little bit more about them. And this is really, what do you guys want to see? We're going to give you the content that you want. Not that they don't do that, but they're also going to have, a need to put their new products out there and tell everyone what they're doing that's new. And we'll do some of that too. But we really are, for the community to sort of keep it really unbiased and open.
Yes. And I'm sure, those of us who are in the Acumatica space most likely have been in the Microsoft space or know how big their communities are, know how important they are. So if you're in the Microsoft space, you already know that those communities are so important, and being able to have those as part of your so to speak, sponsorships and being able to sponsor those and be a part of them and even do sessions, then you know that this is just, we're trying to do just like that and trying to be just like that and make it just as successful. And we can't obviously do that without the whole community of partners, ISBs, and end users. All right. I try to keep these 20 minutes or less. We did go over a couple of minutes, but.
Awesome.
So if there's no questions, we will wrap things up. We will have the recording on the acu-connect site. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Darcy or I about sponsorship, about submitting a session, about being a part of acu-connect. We will gladly talk to you, schedule some time to chat with you, send you the information that you need, answer your questions. And I appreciate everyone joining us this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks, Aimee.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you, everyone.
Great
Have a great
session.
day.
That.